In this segment, I want to talk about the practice round before you play in a golf tournament. And there's some very, very important things that we've got to do in the practice round to help us be prepared mentally for game day. And I love game day. Game day is what it's all about. It's the day you post the score. So let's use practice round very strategically. Here's the deal I want you to look for in the practice round. Any golf course is going to have different symbols like out-of-bounds stakes, and there's going to be bunkers, there's going to be water. There are going to be things that want to take your attention away from what you know is true about your game and where you need to hit the ball. Every shot is really point A to point B. And what I want you to understand in the practice round is I want you to look at the golf course in such a way that you see these things as objects and elements that actually guide you to a target. These are not things to be afraid of. They're simply out there to help you and guide you to a target. So see the out of bounds and see the water and see those things, but use them to guide you to exactly where you want to hit your shots. Golf is a game of point A to point B. Anything else we add to that is a definition problem. It either adds tension, it takes away from our potential. And so what we're looking for is, where is point B and how am I going to get the ball there? Pete Dye once said that he loves to create golf courses that create illusions that draw people's attention away from the center of the fairway or the center of the green. He will hide parts of the fairway. He hides parts of the green using water, using bunkering, using all kinds of hills and things so that it takes the athlete's mind away from simply hitting point A to point B. Let me give you a trick here. When you're during your practice round, here's what I want you to do. And this undoes everything that Pete Dye or any other golf architect does from a psychological standpoint. Once you get into the fairway where your ball rests, look backwards and take notes. Once you get to the green and you find where your ball is, look backwards and take notes. Your purpose when you play golf is to find, on practice day, is to find the quality angles. I call those QA, a quality angle into the green. Jack Nicklaus, I one time was walking inside the ropes with a player, and the former caddy for Nicklaus was telling me some things about Jack, and he said the first question Jack always asked as he walked up on a par 4 or par 5 was, where's the pin? And he asked that question because he knew that if he had the right angle into the pin that gave him a little bit larger margin of error, before he ever teed the ball up, he had an advantage on the field. So he began strategizing backwards. The best way to do that is once you get to the fairway and you look backwards, you undo what the architect's done, but you also begin then to look to the green and find out where the best angles are and make some notes. You want a quality angle into the green. Once you get to the green, you want to do the same thing, quality position. I call a quality position any position on the green that has an uphill or level putt from within 20 feet. Find out where those quality positions are on the green, write it in your notes. I was practicing for the Kansas Open with Tom Pernice one year, and he said, Dave, it was at Albemarle golf course, and he said, if you hit the center of the greens here at this golf course during the Kansas Open, you will not win. And I'm thinking, you grow up, you're supposed to hit the center of the green. But what he began to show me was that all the greens were crowned. If you're in the center of the green, on any of the greens on that golf course, you got a downhill curler as a putt to the flag. So we began to map the golf course where we would have the greens basically sectioned in 4 parts and find a way to get the ball below the green. You increase your probabilities for success on the green if your ball is below the green or level with the green, unless you just have very, very, very subtly undulating greens. And the last thing I'll say is, one time I think it was Hogan, they asked him a question, why haven't you made a hole-in-one in a PGA Tour event? And he was the greatest iron striker maybe of all time, and so the interviewer was asking, why haven't you made a hole-in-one in a PGA Tour event? And he said, because I never aim at the flag. Hogan was more interested in putting from a position where he can make a birdie. And so his whole frame of reference as he practiced, as he prepared for the tournament, was find the place from which I have the best probabilities of making a putt to make a birdie. If you take those ideas then, look at the golf course backward and undo what the architect does. Secondly, you use all of these things that we normally fear as guides leading you to point B. If you will find the quality angles in your practice round that you want to go into the green with, and if you find on the green the places you want to putt from, and you make good notes of that, you're ahead of the ball game. And you've gained some shots on the field without ever having hit a shot. You do those things during your practice round, and you'll be ready for game day.